Alright gamers, today I'm going to review the vintage game, Go for Broke. Let's check it out. Alright, and welcome to the game. As you can see, there's a lot going on here in the middle, and I'll talk about that in a minute. You're going to be one of these 4 champagne glasses. That's right, there's champagne wishes and caviar dreams in this game, and they're going to each start in their respective colors at the beginning of the game. It can play up to 4 players, and what you're going to start off with $1 million. And here's all the moolah that you're trying to lose before the game's over. What you're going to get out of all this money is you're getting 10 $5,000, 5 $10,000 bills, 4 $50,000 bills, and 7 $100,000 bills. My, aren't you rich? There's also stock in the game that you can purchase. There's International Steel, the oil company, and of course the electric company. And various squares on the board will tell you when you can buy stock. In the game there are several ways to lose your money, and of course a lot of it involves just the little stuff. Now there are other little ways to get money and lose money. They'll do dice roll off, say hey, if you roll snake eyes you lose X amount, if you do this you get X amount. Actually the game says if you roll double sixes you have to pay $100,000, so it's always good to roll double sixes. We kind of changed that to snake eyes because that's the worst roll, and that's why you should pay. Since this game's all about the opposite of Monopoly, instead of getting rich, you are trying to go for broke. Any money that you're paying on the board, though, will go to the silver platter. If you are unlucky enough to land on the lottery, just like in Monopoly, the unofficial free parking rule, you will get all the money on that silver platter and basically maybe fall behind because you're trying to go for broke. Now, as you're going around, other items you can do, you can buy a hotel. They have places on the board, these little blue spaces where you can buy a hotel. You may only buy 1 per game, and you would put your little hotel there. It costs you tons of money to put that up. And you don't want anyone staying at your hotel because every time they land on that space, they have to give you some of their money, which helps them out and doesn't help you out in the game. Also, as you're buying stock, you may go to some of these areas where say, okay, I want to spin the stock exchange and see what my stock is doing. Or, one of the squares may say you have to spin the stock exchange and see what's going on. And there's red and black, and it shows all sorts of types here, and the counter here has it as going down. Steel is going down. That's good. So if I have any International Steel stock, I'm losing money. Excellent. However, if it was in the black, then I'd be in trouble. That means I made a ton of money off that stock. Other things, you can go gamble. You can go to the horse races. As you see, we have red, blue, yellow, and green. There's a small green there. So the player who lands and starts the horse races, they get to pick it and goes in clockwise order. So I would pick maybe green. However, if green hit, I would make so much money it would be ridiculous. You make a mediocre amount if yellow or blue hits. You'll make the least amount if red hits, but as you see, red is almost 50% of that wheel. So let's say I picked green. Go for it, baby. Green. It's blue. Okay? So I didn't win, but some player's going to win, and they're going to get their money back plus interest because they picked the right horse. Everyone has to bet on a horse when someone lands in that horse area. Other things you can play the slot machines here. And what you do is you spin each one, and you're hoping not to get any matches. That was great. I didn't get any matches. But what if I did? Let's say 2 of them were cars. Okay, then I would make some money. And oh my goodness, Lord forbid, if all 3 were cars, I'd make tons of money that way, and I'd probably end up losing the game. The other way to bid is on the roulette table. You can spin the little roulette around, and you can either pick a number, but if you pick a number, of course, you're not likely going to hit it, even though my wife and I have been off by 1 number before. But you would pick a number, and you could only bet X amount. However, if you pick a block of numbers, like 1 through 12, or 13 through 24, or 26 through 30 or whatnot, then you can bet more money. But of course, the odds of you hitting that are a little bit higher. And the most money you can bet is when you're betting on red or black. So for instance, I say, okay, I'm betting it all on red. So if I hit black, I'm going to lose. Let me see this. There it goes. So I rolled around and it landed on black. Hey, I lost it all. You'll be doing any one of these items in the middle, maybe rolling die, maybe paying for stuff, maybe receiving stuff. Maybe an aunt left you $100,000 and now you hate her because you were trying to be the first person to go for broke because that person is the winner. All right, so final thoughts. What do I think about this game? This game is hilarious. It is awesome. It is so fun to play. One of my little nephews, this is one of his favorite games. He always asks for it. Inverse Monopoly, right? Instead of winning it all, you have to lose it all. And it is so much fun. I like the theme with the champagne bottles and all the spinners of the horse racetrack in Vegas, the slot machines, the stock market. That's super fun. Now, to be honest, this copy, I think, is from the 80s. Most copies out there are a reprint of one from the 60s, and it is not as fun. The game seems to be more fun with this version here. Now, this one is hard to find, at least as at the time of this video. I could never find this online. If I did, it was like 40 bucks. I was like, I'm not paying 40 bucks for this. And I actually went to the thrift store and got it for 3 bucks. I was super happy about that. I counted all the pieces to make sure they were there and everything was there. I was like, oh my gosh, this is the one I've been looking for forever. And I found it, and I was super, super happy to have a copy, especially of this type. If you find one of this version, it is great. If you find the older version, it's the same thing, but without the spinners and all the fun little whoozy whats. So I don't know how much fun it would be just to get the base game, a regular reprint of the 60s version or 70s or whatever kind there was. But this one from the 80s is just so much fun and super cool because, man, you have a bad roll. You want bad luck. You want to lose money. You want to buy stocks for millions of dollars and then lose it all in the stock market. It is so great. If Brewster's Millions had a board game, this would be it. If anyone doesn't get that reference, you're way too young. But that's what it reminds me of. Brewster's Millions, the board game. And it sounds as much fun as it is to play. All right, gamers, that's all the time I have for now. Until next time, game on.